Hello everybody, this is Vicky Magic and today I have an amazing lady, Leigh Rachow. Is that how you say it properly, Leigh?
You do, Vicky, that's fine.
Perfect. So I'm doing a couple of interviews at the moment from some of our amazing advertisers in Matters magazine. And in our next issue, we are doing a Dancing in the Rain issue. And that Dancing in the Rain issue is going to be a digital online issue, which comes out on the 1st of June. So, get ready and waiting for that. It's going to be really exciting. And so we're doing a couple of interviews with some of our amazing advertisers in the lead up to that, which we're going to put out there right now, because I think it's really important that we do dance in the rain and that we don't actually just sit back and wait for the storm to weather. So that's a really important thing from Matters magazine. And today I'm going to introduce Leigh and begin by saying welcome, Leigh.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this today. And to begin with, I'd just like to ask you to tell me a little bit about what you do, a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay, I have a business called PropertyCare, and it is a property management agency on the Sunshine Coast. I have properties from Gympie right down to Brisbane. It's only me, and I love it that way. I've always had staff, but I'm more than happy doing my own thing. I think what I like about this business is that every day is a challenge, and every day I learn something new. It's all about experiences. I just thought, I used to teach it. Teaching is one thing, doing it, very different, very different. So loving what I do, loving it.
Yeah, awesome. So just digging a little bit deeper into what you actually do, how do you help your clients? What do you do for them?
Look, and I have a variety of clients. My main focus is my owners and their property. And one of the things I like about PropertyCare is that I just don't manage their property. I care for their property, just like it's my own investment property. And I have teams that help me with that. Now, I have clients that are also tenants, and I have clients who are contractors. And I think one of the things I like about this business is that I can look after them all individually, and yet it's all one relationship about that one property. So it's a focus, really, it's a boutique agency, and it does everything that an owner needs to be done on that property. And I work with the tenants closely, and I work with all my contractors closely. And it's all about relationships and service, Vicky.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that true, kind of in any business?
It is. Any business, it's all about the people that you look after and the people you serve, and that's why it's called a service industry. And it's the same when you go somewhere else. You have expectations. If you walk out of somebody's business and you're on a high because those expectations were just zapped out of the world, that's what I want my clients to feel.
Yeah, it gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Yeah, makes your day. Yeah, makes your day.
Yeah. Making someone else's day, it definitely does make our day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So look, my next question is obviously very current, and all of us are in the middle of a pandemic at the moment, and some of us are dancing in the rain, and some of us are waiting for the storm to pass. So tell me about you. What are you currently doing during COVID-19 yourself?
Okay, well, the COVID-19 has really hit home with everybody. So there's no one going to escape any of the consequences. Some are going to be major consequences and some are going to be minor. In the real estate industry, it's had a huge impact. And there's an impact on owners, because we have mum and dad investors that rely on the income from their properties. And then we have tenants who have lost their job, and the financial circumstances have been highly impacted. So I'm now dealing with wonderful owners who are stressed and beautiful tenants who are just as stressed. So I see my role as being the person who is balancing that stress levels for them and doing whatever I can within the new legislations to ensure that there's an outcome that we'll all have to benefit by, but we'll all lose by. There's no winners in what we're facing. Really, there's no winners. I think the winner will be Australia as a whole when we come out of it, because we'll be stronger. And I think it's one of those things that in any business, all you can do is work harder for your clients than you've ever done before.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, you know, something that you kind of said in there as well, and, you know, a podcast that I look after or that I run is called Wake Up, You've Got This. Do you think that this whole thing is a little bit of a wake up call for the whole world?
Oh, look, when it first started, even before Christmas, when we heard the rumours and things about it, and everything that's happened right up till then, you know, like tsunamis and volcanoes and things, sometimes I wonder if it's Mother Nature giving the world a good slap across the back of the neck and saying, tired of all this fractional fighting, the politics, the economy, and what you've done to my earth, to my world, like a mother telling her children, pulling them into line. So I think there's a real warning in this global pandemic. It's nothing that we expected and nothing that we hope we'll ever see again. But I think I can actually see so many positives already coming out of it, already, you know, and even though there's huge challenges to go through, there's also a great deal to learn about each other and from each other. And there's also a great deal of positivity that I see all the time now in people. And the word thank you is used so much more. And people are stopping and listening to what others are going through, and they're realising that a normal person is a hero.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, you know.
Yeah.
So it's highlighted the heroes in our world and in our home, in our backyard, and everyone is a hero as far as I'm concerned. Everyone that is homeschooling, working, looking after people, staying at home and self-isolating. That's a heroic thing to do, because we all love, especially Australians, love getting out and doing our things. So I really do think it's a wake-up call. Yeah. And I think we're listening.
Yeah, and you know, that's the whole thing. Like, you know, obviously, you know, we've got Matters Magazine. My coaching business is called Matters Coaching. My retreats are You Matter. And basically, this is about waking up to what matters, isn't it?
It does. And I think sometimes, and we all do it, we're all guilty. We don't stop and we don't look around us. You know the old saying, stop and smell the roses?
Yeah.
Well, most of us are that busy, being busy, that we forget to do that.
Yeah. And so Leigh, how are you pivoting your business to Dance in the Rain?
Look, I had to laugh when I saw this and I thought, pivoting. Actually, it's like walking on coals, you know. You've got to go into the fire pit with a positive attitude that you think, you know what, I can do this. The only way I'm going to do it is to walk a straight line. You know, you can't keep hopping around from one foot to another. You've got to keep your focus, and you've got to look around you. And that's what I've been doing. It's not easy. I get here sometimes and I become so overwhelmed. I think, oh my God, and I go and get a cup of Earl Grey and a Tin Tan, and I'm positive again. You know, I think, yep, I can do this. You know, so I think everybody has to, because we've never faced this before. It's a very different way of pivoting, but you go back to basics. You go back to basics and you say, I can do this. We've all had hurdles in our life before. This is just a bigger one. So the way I pivot is I just make sure that I keep my focus on what I'm doing for people. And that's my family too. You know, they're all very important. My neighbours, my friends, I reach out, and my owners and my tenants, you know, like they need to know that they are still a very important part of what I do. And that's what I do. My pivoting is really, I just make sure that I surround myself, and I work in a circle. So if I look at owners, I look at tenants. If I look at contractors, I look at their invoices. You know, I just keep working, you know, and it's really the only thing you can do. Longer hours, so be it, you know, it's the way it is.
Yeah, yeah. So what are your short-term and long-term goals and or ideas?
Well, the short-term goals have changed, as have the long-term goals. I think for anybody in business we've had to make a dramatic change to them. So I guess my short-term goals are at the moment is to ensure that my business remains sustainable. And the only way that that's going to do that is to make sure that I keep on that client focus. I do what I've done before, but I think with a lot more empathy and a lot more positivity, you know, because I am a positive person, Vicky, and people, if they see me a little bit overwhelmed or stressed, they tend to get exactly the same way, you know. So I find that, and I like that. And when it gets too much, I'm very fortunate. I have surrounded myself with 3 or 4 professional property managers that mentor me, and it's what goes around comes around. And now I actually have 2 junior property managers who ring me from time to time, you know. So I think, you know, you just, I don't know, sometimes things are put in front of you to make you draw back and learn from it. And I'm learning a lot more now in the last 4 weeks than I've learned in the last 4 years.
Yeah, same,
Yeah.
same. Yeah,
Yeah.
I, you know, Magic and I were talking about this the other day, and we're actually loving how much we're learning. It's
Oh,
it's
it
amazing.
does. But you know what? Learning keeps you young.
Yeah.
You know, so when I've learned something, and sometimes it's because I've made a mistake, that's probably one of the best lessons to always learn. Oh, sorry. That's probably one of the best lessons that I've ever learned, is by making a mistake, having to apologise for it, and then making sure I don't do it again.
Yeah.
You know, because, and so I guess my short-term goals really are all about making sure that whatever I do is sustainable for my business. I mean, if I can't do my business, it's not sustainable. I'm not helping anybody. My long-term goals is that when we get through this, be ready for the next one, because there is more waiting for us at the end of the COVID, you know. So the long-term goal is be prepared, watch what I'm doing carefully, learn from what I'm doing carefully, and be ready for change. And that's all I can do at this moment.
Yeah, cool. So is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners, watchers?
Look, I think what we need to do is we need to really look at our relationships with other people in times of need and challenges, and that's your clients and things, but that's also your family, your friends, even on social media. You know, I've been noticing that social media has changed a lot. You know, like I used to get to the stage, Vicky, where I'd get on social media and I think all I saw was memes, but now you're seeing conversations start again.
Yeah,
you know, and people are saying, you know, I've been here, I miss my grandchildren, and I know about that. And you know, so you can, it's those sort of things, I think. So I think one of the things that I'd like to share is that keep sharing. You know, share whatever you feel and share how you feel with others, you know, and do Zoom meetings and do FaceTimes. And while I hate sometimes the use of technology in our lifestyle, I think at these types of times in our life, it's been a godsend. Imagine self-isolation without technology.
Back when we were young.
Exactly. You know, like we would have been absolutely lost. And I think we've already still seen, you know, like we've got domestic violence, we've got anxiety, we've got, you know, all suicide, all those sort of things that we have in our world. Technology can bridge those gaps. And I think it's up to people who are positive and strong to take some form of leadership in that and make sure that they are connecting across those channels that they can. So that's what I've been trying to do. And as soon as I see something that represents my sense of humour, I send it off. And I've never used personal messenger as much as I am now. And there are things about COVID and things about self-isolation making people laugh. So that's what I'd like to share.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So is there any kind of offer that you'd like to make to our listeners today?
Look, in business, I don't have any special package deals. You know, I don't offer. I offer quality services, you know, and quality care. I think that I do a holistic approach, so I just don't do a little bit here and a little bit there. I think I had somebody say to me one day, look, you know, will you, and I'll be very honest, will you give me a discount on my commission? And I said, not a problem. So what sort of service don't you want me to do?
Yeah.
And I was just looked at and I said, look, you know, I'm not greedy. That service I provide is holistic. I don't charge you anything else. I do it all, everything. Doesn't matter whether you live next door or you live in Arabia. I don't care. I'll still do the same thing. So my offer is always, I will always be better than the last one.
Yep.
That's about it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you for today. I really do appreciate you coming on and doing this interview. So in closing, is there just anything else that you'd like to say?
You know, you were talking about dancing in the rain and are you going to sit back and weather the storm? As a child, I've always danced in the rain, always. And I still look at that. You know, when you dance in the rain, it gives you a sense of freedom. You
Yeah.
splash, you laugh, you giggle, you get wet. And when you finish dancing in the rain, you always go and get warm somewhere, don't you? You know, storms are wonderful if you enjoy them. The best way to enjoy a storm, Vicky, and you'll know this, is on your veranda with a glass of wine and your feet up with people you care about. And that's the way that I think all of the approach in life should be. I love it. You know, I love rain, I love storms, and I love the challenges it brings. And I get excited being able to share that feeling with people and my grandchildren. They love them too. They're never frightened of it.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and so in closing, how can people contact you?
Look, the best way of contacting me is through, I have a Facebook page, which when I get time to do, I do. But I do have a website, and it's www.yourpropertycare.com.au. But if they just type in my name, Leigh Rachow, it'll pop up on Google and they'll find me.
Fantastic. So thanks so much for today, and thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, Vicky.